Do you think or do you really think getting band 9 in IELTS listening is impossible? But this video is especially for IELTS listening and I am going to reveal some secret strategy through which you can get perfect band 9. My friend, it is possible. But for that you will have to follow certain tips, techniques or certain perfect way or method through which you can get the perfect band 9 in your IELTS listening in your first attempt. Today in this video, I am going to reveal some secret tips and techniques through which you can get exactly 40 out of 40 without missing a single question, and that is proven technique. With this technique, I have helped thousands of the students who achieved their desired band score in their IELTS in first attempt, whether it is a listening, reading, writing or speaking. But this video is especially for IELTS listening and I am going to reveal some secret strategy through which you can get perfect band 9. This is the formal and normal format of IELTS listening test, but for that IELTS listening is what I would say is IELTS listening is a scoring pattern. It is a section where you can score the maximum. I have seen number of the students who have achieved 7.5, 8, 8.5 or even perfect 9 band in their first attempt of listening, through which you can improve overall your band score of IELTS. So let's discuss about the some useful tips and techniques. Among them, first one is I always help or I always insist my student not to leave any blank. Means do not leave any question blank. Whether you understand or not, whether you have any kind of a right answer in your brain or not, you should not leave any answer unattempted or a blank, because there is no negative marking. Yes, whatever your questions are correct, you will be given a band score for that, and for the incorrect, there is no negative marking like the certain other examinations in NEET, or there are certain exams which are having, I would say those exams are having negative marking. But in IELTS, we do not have negative marking. So never leave any question unattempted. You will have to fill 40 out of the 40 questions in your given timeline or within the time schedule when you are given to fill your answers. Now this is the master strokes through which number of students, I would say thousands of my students, have already achieved their desired band score in their first attempt of listening, and which is nothing but the self-assessment. In this technique, what you will have to do is you will have to attempt single listening test first. Do not check the answers. Once you complete your test, like you are attempting a test, you complete and transfer your answer in your answer sheet. Whether if it is a physical pen and paper, write down your answers in your answer sheet, or if it is a computer delivered test, save them in your computer. Again, you will have to attempt the test again second time without checking the answers of the first time, and this way you will have to attempt the test 3 times. For the 3 time, you just keep attempting the same test. Do not change the test, same test from the Cambridge book only. Do not attempt any test from other material. There are thousands of materials available or variety of materials available online or in a market or everywhere. But I always advise students to practice from only Cambridge authorized material. So attempt the test 3 times. Once 3 of the attention is done, then you will have to check your answer. And in between your attention, have a genuine gap of either 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, or even single day. Like suppose you attempt a test today. Just note down your answer. Do not check it. Tomorrow again, tomorrow on the next day, attempt the same test. Write down your answers in answer sheet and leave it as it is. Don't check the answers. Again on third day. attempt the same test, write down all your answers, and once you have attempted the same test 3 times with a genuine gap, whether it could be 1 hour, 2 hour, 5 hours, or even a day. I would advise a day. Every day, I mean to say, for the 3 day, constantly attempt the same test, and at the last, once you have attempt three, or once you have attempted the same test 3 times, then check your answers. Your probation would be somewhere. For example, question number 1, question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up to the 40. Check out your answers from the answers key given in the end of the Cambridge book. You will have like an answers key at the end of the Cambridge book for every test. So check your answer. Suppose we have attempted the test 3 times. That is the first time, that is the second time, and that is the third time, same test. And let's check the question number 1. For the first time, you understood the question, and that is correct. Again, same first question on a second test. The first question for the first test was correct. On the second attempt, it was also correct, and third time it was also correct. That is the first probation. Second, for example, the second question, you misunderstood the concept, or you had some problem, you had some issues while listening or focusing, or getting the answer, and it was incorrect, unfortunately. You didn't get the right answer for the first attempt of a second question. Again, you attempted the same one on a second time, but it was wrong again, unfortunately. And same thing happens third time. If repeatedly, it goes wrong all the time, all the 3 times. So that would be your second probation. Then comes another probation, that first time for the third question on your first attempt, it was correct. On the third time, on the first time the third question was correct, but on second time and third time it was incorrect. Then comes the another probation. It would be somehow that on the first attempt it was correct, second attempt it was correct, and third attempt it was wrong. So you will get mostly that 4 types of the probation. When you do, it is called the self-assessment theory or self-assessment technique. Because I have told many students, number of attention will not help you to increase your band score. Suppose you attend a test today and you achieved about 25 to 30. Let's say, for example, 27 was correct and rest was incorrect. Second time you attempt, you reach to 30. On third test you attempt, you dropped again to 20. So this is called a waste of time, waste of energy, because it is not getting on exactly targeted weaker point. You will have to identify your weak area. You will have to check your weak points. And through this assessment, you can check exactly where you are lack of, where your strength is weaker compared to the other part of the IELTS listening test. So these are the probations. Let's assess it. Now how to work it. That you will get mostly the 4 times of the probation throughout your entire test assessment, which you have attempted 3 times. So first, let's check the first probation, where to work and where not to work. Where to work in the sense how to work and how to improve our capability, how to improve our strength or grip over our listening to get perfect 40 out of 40 in our first attempt. So in a first probation, we have noticed that on the 3 times our answer is correct. Let's assume for the 3 times your answer is correct perfectly, and for that you do not need to work, do not required or need to work, because we are understanding the question. We understood the format. We understood the pronunciation, or we understood exactly what the speaker in that tab is asking, and we understood the keywords, the skill or the technique of paraphrasing, or everything. And because of that, we attempted 3 times and it was accurate 3 of the time equally. So on that section, do not waste your energy. Okay. Then comes the another probation, that is wrong, wrong, and wrong. That means we will have to work, definitely need to work on those kind of questions or sections. It could be the blanks, it could be the true false not given, it could be the dialogue completion, or it could be any sort of the questions. Suppose if it is a MCQ, so you will have to focus specifically on MCQs, so that next time when you attempt, you will get accurate 3 times. So that is our weaker point. That is the weaker point and where we will have to work. So that is the second probation. There you will have to focus on certain type of questions only. Then comes the third probation. Third probation is saying that on the first attempt or either out of the 3 attempts, 1 time it was correct and 2 times it was wrong. So I would consider, suppose we have 1 time accurate and 2 times it was wrong, that is fluke, by chance. We just guessed it. We were not that much of confident. It was just a fluke. By chance, it became correct. We just guessed the word or we just guessed the answer and it was correct. So definitely we need to work on this area as well, because it wasn't accurate or perfectly. If it would be perfect, so we should have correct 3 of the time, but we received the correct answer, we wrote the correct answer only once. So we need to work definitely on this section or this kind of questions also. Then comes the another one. Another one is a kind of a, let's say on a 2 time we got a correct answer and 1 time it was inaccurate, a wrong one. That means we need to work, but it is a clearly breach in our focus. Because when we understood the question 2 times constantly and 1 time it is wrong, so it is a clear indication of lack of attention, lack of confidence, or lack of concentration. So we will have to work on our focus. We have to work on distractors. So focus on certain kind of a distractor which could have a greater impact, or I would say greater negative impact on your like assessment or on your attention when you are attending your test. So focus on your concentration. So those are the 4 way of assessment. Now once you do the assessment, how many times you will have to do your self assessment? It is not that you just keep doing your assessment and not working on your improvement. Assessment should be done either once or maximum twice a month, because as practice requires about 3 to 4 months of practice. When someone who is belongs to non-English background, a student who is not having a proper knowledge or proficiency in English, they should work on this technique. Definitely, I pressurize you, you should do your self-assessment in this way, so that you will have a better score. Like your desired dream score, it could be 7 for some, 7.5 for someone. I would say 9 out of 9 in listening is absolutely possible if you check yourself, if you assess yourself in this way. So now, time to work. These are the 3 sections where we have to work. So how to work? How to improve ourselves in IELTS listening? Suppose we are receiving somewhere 25 or 30 out of 40. We are getting accurate answer every time we attempt the test, and we are getting just 25 out of 40. So now how to reach to 40 out of 40 in IELTS listening? Let's check this out. The first thing that you will have to do is you will have to work on your focus and on your concentration. How? Because while attempting a listening test, listening is what it is also a test of attitude. It is not just merely a test of academic where you will be given an easy script. You will have to listen audio, easy audio, and you will have easy questions. No, you will have to have 100% focus and concentration, because you will have to do three activity all together. Like, you are doing listening first. From the audio tape, you are attempting your listening, and second, you will have to engage yourself from the question paper that you will have to read simultaneously. Similarly, when you are listening, you will have to read the questions from your questions paper. So while listening, you will have to engage with reading as well, and you will have to attempt writing of some keywords. You will have to mark out some synonyms, or you will have to check the specific words, some letters or words which are highly possible or responsible behind the paraphrasing. So while listening test, you are going to focus on three areas. You will have to concentrate majorly or maximum on three areas, that is your listening, that you are listening from audio tape, reading, that you are reading the question paper or the questions given in that section, and writing means you will have to write down some keywords, key points, as well as you will have to underline important words or lines on the question paper. So it is a work that you will have to do in a triangle base, like you are listening, you are reading, and you are writing. And for that, we need higher level of focus and concentrations, because all the questions from the audio tape keeps going on and going on, because we have no break. We cannot stop it in between. Once it is started, it ends only once 40 questions are done. We cannot stop in between, or we cannot reverse it. We have no choice. We just have to follow the script perfectly in a perfect flow. And for that, focus and concentration is required. And for that, I advise all the students always do the meditation early in the morning once you wake up. When you wake up early in the morning, first develop a habit of waking up early in the morning and do meditation at least 5 to 10 minutes every day, which ultimately is going to help you to improve your focus and concentration. Because this is a test, once your focus or concentration is breached a bit, the following question would be lapsed easily. Suppose you are attempting at a question number 9 and you miss something. So the section is of a 15 questions. So you will hear the last line. Now this is the end of section 1. That means you are going to lose all the marks from question number 9 to 15, means 6 questions would be lapsed one by one, and you won't be able to help yourself in your real test. So I advise you improve or work on your focus, on your concentration, and for that do the meditation every day. Work on your concentration, and as well as another tip, the mobile phone, the device. When you are practicing, keep your mobile away from yourself, or even do not keep your mobile phone on silent mode with yourself, because it is a human mind, it is a human mentality that we always checks ourselves, or we always keep checking the phone whether we get any message, I got any notification or WhatsApp message, or a kind of Facebook notification or Instagram notification. Let me check. Or why someone is not sending me any message? It's been a while. I haven't received any message. Let me check whether the network is accurate or not. That is the kind of the breaker of your focus or your concentration. So stay away from your mobile. That is the biggest barrier for students to focus or for the concentration. So do meditation, focus, improve, and you will reach your destination easily. That was the first. Now move to the second one. So this one is a magic trick. It helps many students to boost their score, like whether they are at 15 or 20, they can reach to 35 easily, and which is none another than the scripting. Yes, scripting. What is script? A script is given at the end of every Cambridge book for all, like each book. Suppose if it is a Cambridge version 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, or any version of a Cambridge book, at the end of Cambridge book, you will get a scripting, in the sense all the listening dialogues printed or written on the last section of that. And while attempting your test, I would say, or while doing, when if you are a fresher, I would advise all the freshers not to start attention immediately once you start your coaching or practicing for IELTS. Just do scripting for at least a week, so that you will be able to understand the tone. You will be able to understand certain pronunciation of certain words, as well as you will be able to cop up, match up with the speed of the speaker. Because in a section, first section in this listening, you will have a two-person or even a three-person speaking or having a conversation with each other. Second section is also having, there are three or more speakers doing a conversation in between, and in the last section you will have a single speaker giving lecture, giving a kind of a constant speech to the people. So you will have to match up with the speed, the flow, the pronunciation, and scripting is going to help you a lot. So scripting is necessary for each and every student. What you will have to do is just start the audio tab. Do nothing. You need to do nothing at all. Just put your phone away from yourself. Start the audio tab. Open the Cambridge book at the back where the script is given. Just read one by one dialogue, a word by word or letter by letter, which is being spoken in audio tab. Just keep doing for at least week, and you will have to do scripting for at least, I would say, 50 times on different tests. Obviously, for a 50 times, do scripting constantly for a week. It's going to help you boost your confidence that you are active listener. It helps you to develop your listening skill. First, second, is going to help you identify the skill or the technique of paraphrasing. The way speaker is speaking differently, and something which is written on your question paper is on a different way. So is going to help you, the scripting is going to help you to identify the different ways of paraphrasing. Also, it's going to help you for different ways of pronunciation. So scripting is necessary for everyone. Without doing a 50 times of scripting, I advise not to attempt a single listening test, because it is going to help you to understand the entire format of a listening test. So that is most helpful. Now move to the another one. The next one is accent. Okay. In IELTS listening test, you will have a different, like kind of different nationalities speaking in audio tab that you will have to get familiar with. For example, you will have a different accent from the British, from the UK, the British accent, the American accent, the Australian accent, or even from the New Zealand, even from the people speaking from other nations like the Chinese, the Germany. So get familiar with a different accent, and to get familiarity with the different accent, I will advise you to watch the documentaries. Do not start watching movies straight away, because movies are having a lot of background noise, background effect, visual effects, and all that, which is having higher negative impact on your attention or on your focus. So just watch documentaries, and I would advise check for the different documentaries, like documentaries in American accent, and listen it carefully. Close your eyes and keep listening, relax, sit relax and listen it. Then move to the Australian accent. Start the documentary in Australian accent and just listen it. Same way for the Canadian, same way for the New Zealand, same way for the rest of the nations. Because mostly in IELTS you will get a different accent from primarily from the British, second is US, third one is Canada, fourth one is Germany, it could be from New Zealand somewhere, and all the nationalities, all the people from other nations are having a different way of speaking, different way of presenting themselves. So you will have to get familiar with the different accent. It's also a key to reach to the perfect band 9. Then comes the numbers and letters. Yes, my friends, it is also having a most important part, or it is also playing an important part, vital, crucial part in our IELTS listening answers. Yes, in the first section of listening, in a listening part 1, we will have to focus on some numbers or some letters. Because the way, for example, the way we are speaking, Indian people, we are an Indian people, and we speak the numbers in different way. It's like we have to focus on the accurate pronunciation of numbers. So learn to speak. It is not just listening for the numbers. I advise you to learn to speak. Do not say one, it is one. It's not two, it's a two. So learn the accurate pronunciation of numbers as well as letters. Letters in the sense A, B, C, D, not in that way. It's A. It's not A, it's a A. It's not B, it's a B. So learn the pronunciation of numbers and letters, because in the first section we have, so we are going to have at least one blank for numbers and one blank for the letters, where the speaker is going to speak the correct, accurate kind of answers in the speech without any paraphrasing or twist or any kind of thing. For that, it is called a scoring blanks or a scoring question, where if we have accurate knowledge of how the different ethnicity of people, different nationalities speaks the numbers and the letters. So get familiar with the numbers, how to speak it, or even the letters like the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and we say H, it's H, I, J. It's not J, it's a J. So learn the pronunciation of some numbers and letters, which is going to help us to reach our destination perfect and 9. Now comes the last but not least, I would say the most important part is a trap. Save yourself from the trap. How? Because while in an audio tab, when you are attempting your listening test, in an audio tab, the speaker many times develop or design a trap in which we generally get caught and our answer gets wrong. For that, like for example, while two speakers are discussing about the rent of a hotel, the first speaker is saying what would be the rent of the hotel of 24 hours. The second one, the manager, is saying it would be £80 for a day. So they ask, do we have any discount, or can we have any discounts? So the manager says, okay, you can have, if you have some coupon codes or if you have a special relationship with someone, then you may have a £10 discount. So the person is saying, I got a reference of your owner, and for that I definitely should receive a discount for that. So manager said yes. So they said yes, that means the exact cost would be the £70. They said the rent is 80, but at last with the help of the discount or the coupon or the reference, received £10 discount and it would be the finally 70. The exact rent was 80 minus 10 would reach to the £70. However, so while listening this much of tap, we just feel the rent is 70 like that. We fill the blank and we move to the next question. But the twist starts here. Means suddenly the rent for the hotel stay is 70 is disclosed. Suddenly after that the manager is going to reveal some another twist, is going to throw a bomb that is going to blast our score. For example, manager says, well, additionally, the festive season is going on, you will have additional £5 discount. So the answer would be, there would be a different answer, but the answer would be exactly £65 because initially it was 80, £10 discount for the reference and festive season discount would be another £5. So the answer ultimately is 65. So save yourself from such trap. And for that, you have to do nothing, do nothing at all. Just focus on listening, focus on given option or blank, means focus on your question and stay with the tab. Do not move forward. Once you get an answer, just you start checking another question. Don't do that. Stay with the tab and you will save yourself from such trap easily. So advice is to save yourself from the trap is to stay with the tab. Do not move forward. Do not work in advance. Just keep going on smoothly. Keep going on easily with your tab. Stay with it. Listen what the speakers are saying exactly and focus on your questions. You will have accurate answers. So my dear friends, these are some specific basic tips and techniques through which you can achieve your perfect desired band score 9, and that is possible. I have helped thousands of the students to get such scores in their first attempt. It is quite easy. If it would be for the speaking and if it would be for the like I would say writing, that would be a bit difficult. I would say it is not impossible. It would be more complicated or more difficult compared to the listening and compared to the reading. To get perfect but 9 in listening and reading is quite possible for every range of the students. Whether you belongs to English medium background or non-English medium background, to get band 9 in listening and reading is accurately or it is highly possible for everyone. For the same, this is the video for the IELTS listening tips and I am going to make another video on IELTS reading tips through which you can also have a perfect band 9. If you follow my tips and techniques, it is proven. Let me give you briefing about those tips and techniques. I have given it or I have passed it to number like thousands of my students and they have achieved that desired band score in their first attempt. So believe it, practice it and keep following. Another way or like another thing that I want to disclose over here is that in IELTS, basic grammar is extremely useful, and for that I have my another YouTube channel which is English with Dipak. The link is given here or you will be given a link in my description box. So check that, subscribe that channel also and improve on your fluency, improve your grammar, improve your basic spoken English with the same channel. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe this channel if you really found that tips and techniques are helpful to you, and share it to everyone who are struggling, who are facing a lot of issues for their listening and reading or even writing or even for speaking in IELTS, all the modules, because I have uploaded thousands of videos for all the sections through which you can get your desired band score 9 out of 9 in your first attempt.